All right, on to part 2, talking about the I-Ching, talking about the Tao, talking about Gene Keys. I added a little bit into the meditation today, broaching the ideas already of the first Gene Key, the first hexagram in the I-Ching, which starts off with 6 full lines. 6 full lines. It is the ultimate yang hexagram. Yang, young. Heaven upon heaven. Heaven upon heaven. Here is a translation of the first hexagram by James Legge, Legge. I'll post that in the description section. So, heaven upon heaven, the first I-Ching, embodying the Tao. The Tao that can be trodden is not the enduring and the unchanging Tao. The name that can be named is not the enduring and unchanging name. Conceived of as having no name, it is the originator of heaven and earth. It is the mother of all things. Always without desire we must be found. If its deep mystery we would sound. But if desire always within us be, its outer fringe is all that we shall see. Under these 2 aspects, it is really the same, but as development takes place, it receives the different names. Together we call them the mystery. Where the mystery is the deepest, there is the gate of all that is subtle and wonderful. Again, that is a translation of the first hexagram in Tao Te Ching by James Legge. I love the poetic philosophy behind the Tao. It's said that all the lessons that you'll ever need to learn in life are contained in the Tao. It's like things said with so little can cause such expansion if you use the right words, which can get people in trouble sometimes, I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes directness and the choosing of proper wording can save you, but through philosophy, it's a dance where you listen to those words and then contemplate how they look, how they feel, contemplate how they mirror in your life. And that's a big part of just all of these kinds of studies. The contemplation aspect, to contemplate is to just let an idea just languishingly roll around your mind and let it come and go throughout your day, and have that slight awareness but detachment to figuring everything out. So in the Gene Keys, the markers are, for the first Gene Key, the shadow is entropy. Entropy essentially means this stillness, this numbness, this kind of contraction that happens. these zombie-like tendencies, living in the shadow aspect of this first I-Ching is control. It's wanting to have that utter control, and you'll stay in that state, or things aren't generally going to work out well for you in that state of ultimate control and contraction, because you have to be okay with it. You have to just let it release and be at peace with whatever it is. Have that patience of unwinding, not being uncomfortable in that space of stillness and presence. It can, if that control is held in that space, that numbness, it's really trying to lead you to noticing something about your life, something that maybe is not aligned, something that's draining your energy, something that needs to change. And noticing and trusting with detachment, sitting in that stillness, noticing what might need to be changed. And then if you wait long enough with that open awareness, having eyes that see and ears that hear what's real, what's the truth, you will grow into freshness. Freshness is the gift that comes after the shadow in that first gene key. Gene keys are a body of work by Richard Rudd, by the way, which I will go into a little bit further after I finish this discourse. Freshness. Freshness is the gift. If you work through that shadow of whatever comes up for you in that stillness, in that numbness, in that entropy, freshness, that lighting will happen. You'll see something occur that just jaw-dropping awe moment where you're like, oh. And take a moment right now to think back to a moment in your life where that's happened, and you can sense that stillness of no mind, and then the sudden rush of oh yeah of course, that's perfect. The creation of freshness, that idea, those fresh ideas that are born to make an original and authentic choice to grow out of that state of entropy, of numbness. Because you do have to choose, and some people fear will come up in that moment of, well, I don't know, how am I supposed to do this? Sometimes those little things of freshness will seem like giant things that are trying to be born, but it only takes one step at a time. Just ask for the next step, and then you might come into a little bit more entropy until you wait for the next bit of fire. You're like, oh, okay, that's how that works. And the best thing that you can do is to be in flow with that process. It's like midwifing the creative process. It needs to be organic. There are things that want to be born into this world that haven't been done before, but you have to have the awareness that whatever idea that you might have, it might not be exactly how you expected it to turn out, or be what it is even in the end of what you expected it to be. Expectations are the killer of joy, as they say. So be accepting of bringing the unknown to the known. Risk your ego. It will pay off in the end. Those beautiful, authentic things that happen in that space of creation that really bring those ideas, that beauty, exactly, into the city of the first is beauty. Because if you can let go, of your ego and how you think things should be, how you think things should turn out, and let them grow, it turns into something beautiful that brings tears to people's eyes. It brings tears, it brings pure, unbridled passion and emotion to life. The tears of joy. Whew. I'm really feeling that one. Move into the heart of the mystery. Beauty is one of the 4 great principles of the universe, paired with unity. We are all one. It is the experience of the divine. It is Tantra at its essence. You have your sentient self, and you have your idea that comes to play, or that comes to you to be born into this world, and the space between you and this idea is the divine. It is God, and that space between. And if you can come into unity with those ideas, in every tiny space in between is God, and you will be led. So when you finally relinquish control in the patient process of creation, you open to your authentic moment to bring something new into the world. This is a place when you allow to be led by the divine into the passion and beauty of the process. You become one with God and one with all. But then ultimately we need to release it and let it go out into the world on its own. It needs to be let go, just like all great creative endeavors, pieces of art. That thing might be for someone else. It might not be for us to keep. It might be specific for us to make, to enlighten or enliven someone else that we don't even know. Beauty is a divine principle. Beauty is truth. There is only beauty in the Master's eye. So, probing questions, introspective questions to journal on for this. Can I let go of everything? How far can I let go? What might be coming up, making me feel uncomfortable about letting go? Why do I need that control? Can I court the subtle? Can I court the subtle? Can you sit in presence with just a little thing, a little idea in your mind, and let it breathe there? Let it breathe its first breaths. Let it take its first steps. Can I accept and help flourish whatever is to be born in the natural way that it wants to be born and grow? I think that's important. And if you say yes to that, I think that's a good start. Because our brains remember what it is that we want. Our brains remember those patterns. It remembers our morals. It remembers what is important to us. So it's good to be reminded what is important to you in truth, and what isn't important, and what is unneeded, really, in truth. Ooh, so now, the Gene Keys are a beautiful body of work by Richard Rudd. Highly, highly, highly recommended. It is a series of books. It's a part of work that is based on human design. Working with the human design system, Richard has developed this process that you can take called the Golden Path. And it goes through these different sequences to help you understand yourself, work through your shadows, and grow into the best version of your authentic original self that was imprinted from birth. Those little things that are written in the stars and the planets that are all a part of us, that we generally get deprogrammed for throughout our lives. But we're human. That's what we're here for, is to be separate. To be separate, and then come back and work our way closer and closer to God in the end. And that is the beauty of creation. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Anyways, so Gene Keys, the Golden Path. You can take those programs through the Gene Keys website, and it'll walk you through all of your stuff pretty easily. Even if you've heard of human design and it looks confusing, the Gene Keys programs really make it very easy for you to understand your personal profiles and your keys, and help you contemplate what those mean to you. There are lots of groups out there also online that you can join to discuss whatever you want to discuss. You could also discuss those things with me if you'd like. Monday I'll be a Gene Key guide, but not quite yet. I have traversed my entire Golden Path though, and it was thoroughly helpful to set me on a straighter path that was not directed by society, but by God. So, let's see. Oh, There is one more cool thing about all of this that I forgot to mention. The track that I listened to at the beginning, it's a wonderful artist named Londrell. Makes beautiful, mindful, very chill music, and I highly recommend. He's a great person, and his whole crew is awesome. Thoroughly lovely being, beautiful expression. So it's Wednesday. It's a full moon. De-stress and reset. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time in the ethers.